What's going on, everybody? Peyton Smith here, and welcome back to another video. With Halloween drawing near, I thought it would only be appropriate to share with you some very scary mistakes that are made by freelancers. We're going to be talking today about the 10 most deadly mistakes that freelancers make. Now, this isn't just a list that I came up with on my own, but I actually put this question out in our Facebook group and heard back from a group of 1,200 freelancers just like myself. We got some really great feedback, different people in different situations answering this question. And so my hope is that this list of 10 deadly mistakes is going to not only make you aware of these mistakes, but help you avoid them, which is going to save you a lot of stress, a lot of hassle, a lot of heartbreak, and most of all, it's going to save you a lot of money. So with that said, let's jump into it. Starting off with number 10 is one of the biggest mistakes that freelancers make, and probably the biggest reason that freelancers give up on their freelance dreams and their business, and that is expecting immediate results. Building your own business is not going to happen overnight, and a lot of times we put way too much pressure on ourselves, especially when we're trying to replace our regular 9-to-5 job. We tell ourselves that we need to be making big money by month 2 or 3, and if we're not, that means that we've failed and it's not going to work, and that maybe this freelance stuff is not for us and it's too risky. And honestly, it's just going to take time to grow your business. I don't know anybody that has started a side gig or a freelance business and started making money overnight. It takes time not only to learn how to be a successful freelancer, but you need to get your processes in place, and you need to hone in your sales skills and your offerings, and you need to build your network. And there are so many things that go into a successful and thriving freelance business, and that does not happen overnight. And to be quite honest, it doesn't even happen in 6 months or maybe even 9 months. This is how long it took me to really get my business off the ground to where I was making enough money to sustain my family. And so don't go into this expecting that you're going to get immediate results, and don't give up on yourself if the results don't come as quickly as you would hope. That is something that we all need to understand and come to grips with when it comes to freelancing. Is while our ceiling is way higher and we could end up making way more than our 9-to-5 job, it could take longer to build up to that point. And so be patient and don't expect those immediate results. Number 9 is doing the little stuff for free. This is a mistake that nearly all freelancers make when they're starting out because they don't set the scope of the project, and so inevitably there is scope creep and additional things get asked of us as a freelancer, and we think, oh yeah, I could do that for free. It'll only take me 10 minutes or 30 minutes. That's fine. And we start agreeing to all these different things that the client is asking of us. And what we don't realize is when we do these extra things for free that fall outside of our scope, our clients aren't going to value our time as much, and they're not going to value our work as much. And so stop doing little tasks for free. If something falls outside of the scope of your project, charge for it. In my case, when I'm building a website and a client comes back and says, hey, we need to add an additional page or we need additional edits after the fact, I'm going to charge them for that, and I'm going to charge them enough money that it incentivizes me to get that work done. Don't do things for free because I promise they're going to stack up, they're going to overwhelm you, and you're going to realize that half of your week is spent doing a bunch of dumb little free tasks that don't move your business forward, and they just discourage you and they kind of beat you down until you start to question the reason that you started your freelance business in the first place. So don't do the little stuff for free. Mistake number 8 is procrastinating the hard things. This is something that I had to overcome because going from having a traditional job to being my own boss, it was really easy to procrastinate the hard things like sales calls and busy work and reporting and all these different things that weren't fun to do. I would put them off until either the end of the day or the end of the week. And what I found is when those things were hanging over my head and I knew that I had to do them at the end of the day, the rest of my day wasn't productive because they were causing me anxiety and I couldn't get them out of my head. And so what you can do to overcome this mistake is scheduling your day and your week with all of the hard stuff at the beginning. So what I do is if I have sales calls or anything else that could potentially cause me anxiety, I'm going to schedule that first thing in the morning. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to knock those things out because then the rest of my day is going to be super productive. I'm going to be relaxed, I'm going to be focused, and it is going to make my life much, much easier. When we're talking in terms of the entire week, I don't like to schedule stressful things on Fridays if I can help it. And so if that's something that is important to you, schedule all of your sales calls and everything else at the beginning of the week. So as you're rolling into the weekend, which I still work weekends, but I like to focus on other things that are going to move my business forward rather than stressing on all of the hard things. And so don't procrastinate those hard things. Do them early in the day, early in the week, and it is going to save you a ton of time, a ton of hassle, and it's going to make you way more productive. Mistake number 7 is going it alone. This is a really hard thing as a freelancer, especially if you're working from home. It's easy to feel like you're kind of out on your own island. It can be lonely. And what I found is before I surrounded myself with other like-minded people that would kind of support me and get me hyped for sales calls and increasing my prices and all these things, it was hard to be as productive or make as much money as I wanted because I felt like I was alone. It was discouraging. It was hard to get pumped up for sales calls. It was quiet, and I don't think that that's a good way to grow your business. Instead, what you need to do is surround yourself with like-minded people. Connect with people in Facebook groups, which we have one, and I'll link that down below. You can also connect with other people that do similar things as you do through YouTube and other social media channels, and even in your community. I think it's really, really important to surround yourself with those like-minded people. And then, of course, involve your family and your friends in your business. Let them know what's going on, because the more you talk about things, the easier it's going to be to grow your business and be optimistic about what's going on. In my case, I had a really hard time raising my prices until I started connecting with other people like me doing what I do that said, dude, Peyton, you need to raise your prices. You're crazy. We're charging 3 times as much as you. And this gave me like this newfound confidence to go to my clients and say, yeah, I'm charging more and I'm worth more. And so it is going to, across the board, increase the way that you run your business. It's going to increase your confidence. It's going to allow you to raise your prices with confidence. And so I promise you it is going to be well worth it to surround yourself with good people so you don't have to go it alone. Mistake number 6 is saying yes to everything. This is a very amateur thing to do. And a lot of times we do this in order to land clients or make clients happy with us. And so we just say yes to everything. And what I found is when I was saying yes, especially to these obscure, like additional tasks that these clients wanted worked into their projects, it kind of messed with my process, right? It was okay if I was building a website, but if they wanted me to integrate all of these random plugins and do all of this extra stuff that was outside my realm of expertise, it was making it difficult to streamline things. It was causing me a lot of frustration because I was constantly learning new things that I felt like weren't necessarily pertinent to what I was trying to do within my business. And not only that, but I feel like clients kind of were just taking advantage of me because I just said yes to anything to get the sale. And so what I found recently is saying no confidently commands a lot of respect from your clients. And so if I have a client that says, hey, we need a website and SEO, I say, great, that's going to be a great fit. We're going to work really well together. But then if they come in and say, oh, but we also need you to help us set up this Shopify store and all this e-commerce stuff, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, that's outside of my realm of expertise. We could certainly find somebody else that can help you with that. But when it comes to working with me, all I do is website, SEO, and reviews. And just say no confidently to people, and you'll be shocked at how often they say, okay, that's totally fine. And by doing this, they're going to acknowledge that the things that you do say yes to, you are the expert in that. And so they're going to trust you a lot more, and they're not going to roll right over you and tell you all of the things that you need to do within this project, but they're going to say, no, Peyton is the website and SEO expert, and I trust him. I'm going to let him do what he does best, and I'll find somebody else to do all these additional tasks. So don't say yes to everything. Mistake number 5 is offering too many services. This is something that new freelancers mess up with a lot, and it's something that I struggled with for probably the first 6 months of my agency. Is I was wanting to offer literally every single different type of service, from web design to graphic design to SEO to social media ads to logo design and everything in between. And first off, it was really, really difficult to excel and be really good at any one of these services because I was trying to do everything. And if you're a jack of all trades, typically speaking, you're not an expert of any one of those trades. And that's not what people are looking for. And when I did this, in my mind, I thought, well, the more services I offer, the better chance I have of appealing to somebody that needs one of these services. But instead, people would come to me and find out that I did like 15 different things, and they would be kind of uneasy about it. And I found that it was harder to get people to trust the fact that I was a website expert, because how can you be a website expert if you're a graphic design expert and an SEO expert and an ads expert? And so I think that I found very quickly that I was not particularly good at any one of those things, because I was trying to do all of them. And so by niching in and selecting just one or two different services, I was able to streamline my processes. I was able to save a ton of time and hassle from like learning new things and having things fall outside of the scope of what I do. But not only that, but I became an expert within those one or two services that I offered, and it became much easier to command higher prices and to convince people that I was their best option. So don't try to offer too many services. Select just one or two, become really, really good at those, focus on those, and I promise you're going to make a lot more money by doing this. Mistake number 4 is looking for other people's approval. This goes back to feeling lonely and going through this whole process by yourself. The honest truth is you're not going to get a whole ton of approval from other people. What I found is more often than not, people have no idea what I do and they don't care, frankly. And so it's going to be hard when you're in situations where other people know of kind of the traditional jobs and what they do. And so when you're at family gatherings, people are going to be talking to the accountants and to the salespeople and all these people, because those are kind of interesting, well-known things. And it's very possible that people just aren't going to be super interested, and they're not going to give you the feedback or the support that you're looking for. And that's okay. You can't rely on the approval of other people, because even now when I'm making way more money than most of the other people around me in my life, people think that I still do stupid like graphic design stuff on YouTube. And the fact of the matter is people don't know what I do. They don't really care what I do. And so you just have to come to grips with the fact that it's okay if people don't understand, and you don't have to impress people. You don't have to get their approval. You just have to be confident and happy with your life and what you're doing. And if you can do this and stay focused, you're going to be far more successful than most of those other people in your life. Mistake number 3 is taking on too much busy work. This is very similar to the other one that we talked about, saying yes to everything. But if we try to take on too much random busy work, it's going to be hard to streamline our processes, and our life is going to be frustrating. A good example of this is I recently found that I was spending way too much time responding to emails and sending invoices and creating business cards and doing a lot of dumb stuff like this that just was busy work. And it was making it hard for me to really stay focused on the things that were actually going to make my agency more money. And so what you have to do is you have to list out all of the different kind of busy work tasks that aren't making you more money and are wasting your time. And you need to either eliminate those things, or you need to hire them out and have somebody else manage those. As you become a more successful freelancer and more of an expert within your field, you're going to find that your time is worth a lot more. And so your time is not going to be well spent doing these busy work tasks that are either making you no money or very little money, when you could hire those things out and buy your time back. And then with more free time, you're going to be able to do the things that you do best that are going to make you more money. So don't be afraid to eliminate those busy work tasks or hire them out, and open up your schedule to do what you do best. Mistake number 2 is not taking the lead with clients. This goes back to being an expert and acting and playing the role of an expert, because if you don't, your clients aren't going to trust you. So whether this is in your calls with your clients or in the entire process of landing your clients and executing a project, you need to take the lead, because if you don't instill confidence in your clients, they are going to be the worst clients, because they're going to feel like you don't know enough to push this project forward, and they're going to start putting their hands all over your project and telling you what to do and becoming those nightmare clients that we all talk about. And this is funny because I feel like oftentimes I hear people, freelancers, talk about those horrible clients that are way too hands-on and way too opinionated. And while this is true, there are some of those clients out there. I feel like 90% of the time, those clients are created by bad freelancers that don't do a good job of instilling confidence and sharing with them the process that actually works. If you leave any question in your client's mind that you know what you're doing, they inevitably are going to be way too hands-on, and they're going to start telling you what to do. It's going to drag out projects, and it is going to be miserable for you, and you're not going to get paid for the amount of work and hassle and stress that you put into this project. So if you can be the expert and take the lead and instill confidence in your clients that you are the expert, you know all the answers, you know the best steps to take to get the results that they're looking for, they're going to say, great, Peyton knows what he's doing. I don't have to worry about this. I'm going to cut him loose, let him do what he needs to do, and I'm going to trust that the results will come. And by doing this, you are going to make your life as a freelancer way easier, way more enjoyable, and people are going to appreciate and respect you a lot more. And finally, the number one most critical mistake that freelancers make is limiting their vision. I believe that 90% of your success, or the success that you're going to have, correlates directly with the people that you surround yourself by and the content that you surround yourself by. A good example of this is if you surround yourself with people that make just $3,000 per month and aren't hard workers and maybe don't put in the extra hours, there is a very good chance that you're going to end up just like them. Or at the very least, you're going to have a hard time pushing past those income limits and, even more importantly, those ambition limits. And so those things around us, whether it's people or media, they will either limit and suppress our vision, or they're going to elevate us to another level. And so I think it's so important for us as freelancers to not get bogged down and put ceilings on ourselves and what we can accomplish. I think it's really, really important to do things that elevate our vision so that we can earn more, achieve more, we can do more for our clients, get better results, and continually progress as a freelancer and a business owner. A good example of this is the job that I came from before I started my freelance agency, which was a door-to-door sales job. All of my closest friends, or nearly all of my closest friends, and my brother still work at that job, and they've become managers and regional managers, and they make a crap ton of money. I'm talking hundreds of thousands, and in some cases even millions of dollars. Now, for some people, this might be discouraging, looking around you and seeing how much money people are making and how successful they are. And this can be discouraging for some people, but for me, I love to look around me and see, like, wow, like so much more is possible and I can do so much more. Not only can I make more money, but I can work with big time businesses and I can be confident in charging more, and all these different things, these different aspects of my vision and what I thought was possible has been elevated by these people around me, and I'm so, so grateful for that. But like I said, it doesn't have to be just the people that you surround yourself with. And for some of you, that may not even be an option, and that's okay. Surround yourself with media, with YouTube videos and podcasts and books and things that help you elevate your vision and realize that you can do more than what you're doing now. And for my friends that I surround myself with, originally I thought making $5,000 a month when I started my business was like the ultimate goal. And then I would go hang out with them and I'd be like, oh wow, like they're doing so much more. I can do so much more. And so now, even making $30,000 plus per month, I'm still feeling like, oh geez, like I could be doing more. I can grow more. I can hire more people. I can reach more businesses. I can get better results. And all of these things are only possible by surrounding ourselves with the right influences that elevate our vision and help us truly push to reach our potential. Hey there, thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the support. Now, before we wrap up this video, I wanted to throw up some honorable mentions when I threw out this question in my Facebook group to see what are the other big mistakes that my fellow freelancers have made. I was able to get a lot of good feedback, and so I'm going to throw those up here on the screen so you can look through all of those honorable mentions. But before I do that, if you found any value in this video, please be sure to smash that like button down below. It really helps me out. And certainly, if you want to learn more about becoming a high-paid web designer, be sure to click the subscribe button down below and turn on your notifications so you'll get notified every time I launch a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy.